Hello everyone, and welcome to the Complete Python Programming course. In this video, we will talk about operators. This video is part of the beginner tutorial. In the previous lesson, we learned about variables and basic data types. We declared our variables and printed them to the screen. When we declared our variable, we used our first operator, the assignment operator. The equal sign into the assignment operator. It assigned the value of the right-hand operand to the left-hand side operand. When I print my statement, greeting, printing my variable, Python 3, main.py, Python printed hello to my screen. In this statement, in this program, I'm instructing Python to store the value hello in a greeting, and then after that, I am accessing the value of a greeting. Python will go find the value and put it in my print statement. The assignment operator is simple, and we'll talk about it in more details later. Arithmetic operators are intuitive and easy. A equals 10, B equals 5. Print A plus B. Let's print that and see what Python says about that. And Python printed 15 to my screen. I asked Python to go to the value of A and put it here, the value of B and put it here, do the math, and then print the result to my screen. We can do that in different ways. C equals A plus B. In this statement, I'm asking Python to make the variable C value to assign the C to the result of A plus B. If I print C, we will get exact same result, except that in this case now we have a new variable called C. We can do subtraction, and it will work exactly the same, and it will return 5. The multiplication operator in Python is the star. A star B means A multiplied by B. Let's run that, and Python will return 50. There is also the division operator, A divided by B, and let's run that and see what Python says, and Python returned 2, the result of dividing 10 on 5. These are simple, and you can use them the way you wish. Let's try something else. We can ask, let's create actually another variable. Let's call it C here. Get rid of this C and make it 7. D equals A plus B plus C. Let's print D. And Python will do the calculation and return 22 to our screen. It's as simple as you did on paper, and you are using Python as your calculator in this case. I would like to introduce 2 new arithmetic operators you might not be familiar with, or at least you will not be familiar with the syntax of them. The first one is the exponent operator. D equals 10, or let's use A star star 2. Let's run that, and Python returned 100. The exponent operator raises a value to a power. In this case, I'm asking Python to raise 10 to the power of 2. 10 to the power of 2 is 100, and Python printed 100. Now, let's raise 10 to the power of b, a raised to the power of b. Let's see what Python says about that. And Python calculated the result correctly, added the five zeros after the 1. The last arithmetic operator I would like to address is the modulus operator. This might be new to you. A, percentage, and B. Let's run that and see what Python says. Clear. And we run our code and Python returned 0. Let's create a new variable. We call it E, A, percentage, C. I'm asking Python A, percentage C, 10, percentage 7. Let's also print E. We run our code and Python returned 3. The modulus operator is the remainder after division. 10 divided by 7, it has 1 7, and the remainder is 3, and Python returned 3. In the first case, 10 divided by 5 has 2 5s, and remaining is 0, Python returned a 0. The modulus is the remainder after division, and that's how it works. It's a simple operator. You can try it with different values. If we have 6 in here, 10 divided by 6 equal 1, and the remainder is 4. Let's run our code. And that should return a 4 to our screen. Arithmetic operators, we will come to them, we will use them in our examples. But for now, let's talk about a little different type of operators. The comparison operators. Last time we talked about true and false. We said that there is a type, Boolean type, that is the value of it can be true or false. These are very related to the comparison operators. A equals 10, B equals 10, and C equals 7. Print A equals B. Let's see what Python returns to our screen. And Python returned true. The first comparison operator is the equality operator. I'm asking Python, is A equal to B? The syntax is A equals B. Comparing A to C, I'm asking Python, is A equal to C? And Python will return false. 10 is not equal to 7. The value true or false are very important. So let's do D equals A equals B, and let's print D. Notice that the value of D now is true. So the true and false can be assigned to a variable just like any other assignment we use in Python. Now, if I change this to C, the value of D will be false. Comparison operators always return true or false. How about asking Python if D not equals A not equals to B? I'm asking Python, is A not equal to B? And assign the value to a D. Let's see what Python says about that. Save our file, run our program, and Python says false. A is equal to B. You're asking me, is A not equal to B? And that is false. These are the equality and not equality operators in Python. We can also do greater than or use the greater than operator. Is A greater than B? Python would say false. A is not greater than B because they are the same. You can ask Python, is A greater or equal to B? And Python says true because it is equal. Notice that they are very similar to what you used in basic math in school. If I change this to C, let's use the greater than alone, and that will return true because A is greater than C. You can use the smaller than or smaller than or equal operator, and it will work exactly the same as you would expect. If we print that, it will return false because A is not smaller than C. Running our operators on numbers is easy, and you are used to it. You use it in your everyday life. How about A equals hello, B equals world. Print, or let's use C equals A plus B. How can you add hello to a word? They are strings. Can you add them together? Let's see if Python knows how to do that. C, and I'm printing C, and let's see what's the value of C. The value of C is hello word without spaces. Python just took the string, added the other string to it, and returned the result. If you want space between them, you could ask Python to add space, and that would work as expected, hello world. Or you could create here space, a variable called space, and give it the value of space, and you can add your space here, and that will work also as expected. It will print hello world to our screen. How about subtraction? How about asking Python to subtract A minus B? How do you subtract word from hello? I will not learn this program. Run it at home and see what you get. Let's try something else. Let's try to multiply our operator. Let's go A multiplied by B. Run that at home and see what you get. For me, I will run A multiplied by 3. I'm multiplying hello by a number. Let's run our code. And Python printed hello, hello, hello. It just repeated my string 3 times. Hello, hello, hello. Let's divide our hello by 3. Run that at home and see what you get when you try to divide hello on a 3 or a 4 or a 5 or whatever you want. Now, if I have the hello, you remember that we access indices this way. 0 will give me the h. H multiplied by 3. Let's see what Python does. And Python printed h 3 times. That's straightforward. Python can add strings together and can multiply strings by a number by just repeating the string as many times as you want. If you ask Python to repeat A 100 times, Python has no problem with that, and it will do it very quickly actually. Let's talk about another type of operators. We talked about lists and strings that are actually sequence data types. Let's create a string for now. hello equals hello. I can ask Python, is a specific letter in my string, using the in operator. In operator works on sequences. Strings, lists, and dictionaries are sequences, and I can use the in operator with them. How does it work? Print h in hello. I'm asking Python, is the letter h in hello? Let's see what Python says about that. Clear and run our code, and Python says true. Notice that the in operator returned the same result, which is a Boolean type, true, the same as comparison operator. Let's ask Python, is small letter h in hello? And Python will say, no, it's not there, it's a false. Notice that no matter what you do here, the result will be always true or false. Python will not return anything other than true or false according to your statement. We can ask Python, does it have an L? And Python will return true. We have an L in our hello. You could ask Python, not in. Notice that L, not in. Let's change it to H. I'm asking Python, is H not in hello? And Python would say false, because we have an H in our hello. Something about the syntax. Of course, you can also assign these to E, in or not in, hello, and the result will be the same. You are just assigning it to a new variable, and the result will be the same as in the print statement. Notice that the syntax is very similar to English. E not in or E in. E in hello, E not in hello. That's very simple. Let's see more example how to use that in a list. My pets, to stay with the same list from last time. Dog, cat, and a horse. And result equals dog in my pets. Print result. And notice that Python will say true, there is a dog in pets. Let's change that to small d and ask Python about that, and Python will say false. And if you ask about any other animal, it will say false unless it's a dog or a cat or a horse. We can do that for dictionaries. Let's convert this quickly into a dictionary. H just like the dictionary we created in the previous lesson, and see how that goes with Python. When it comes to dictionaries, it's a little bit different. I'm going to ask Python, is D in my pets? Because when you search for dictionaries, when you use the in operator on dictionary, you are using it on the key, not on the value, like a list. In the case of list, we ask for a value. In the case of dictionary, we ask for the key. So if we try to go dog in my pets, Python will return false. There is no dog in your pets, although it's here. Let me arrange that in an easier to read way. Here's my dictionary. Is dog in my pets? And Python said no, because the dog is the value and the D is the key. You can ask Python, is D in my dog, in my pets? And Python will return true. The rule is that for lists, Python will search the values. For dictionaries, Python will search the keys when you use the in operator. You can use here cat, and it will return false. But if you use C, it will return true. I hope this is clear enough at this point. We will see these in much more examples in future lessons, but for now I would like to talk about one more concept: assignment operator. A equals 10. That's just simple variable, and if you print it, you get A. And the value of A is 10. You can use print or A plus equals 1. What does that do? Increases the value of A by 1. Print A, and notice that the first time the value of A is 10, and now the value of A is 11. From now on, the value of A is 11. You can say it increased by 15, and from now on, the value of A will be 25. We will see this in example. Don't let this scare you. You can use minus 1. I'm asking Python to subtract 1 from A and make A the value of the resulting of subtraction of 10 minus 1. Let's run that. And Python said the value of A is now 9. You can run these as many times as you want. You can do it that way. And every time Python will subtract 1 from it and return the result. At this point, it is 6. This is simple enough. Create new variables and try to run some operators in them and see how you get the results and how it works all together. This is a simple introduction to operators. We will talk about them in more details once we approach them. I believe that it's the best approach to talk about them in real examples instead of saying A equals B and all that. We will see them in more details and I will talk about them then. If you like these videos, support the channel by subscribing. Until next time, have a great time.